Welcome back, future educators. We are diving straight into a super important module of your 42-day Technical Teacher Certificate program today. This explainer is basically a masterclass on the tools that are going to completely define your command, both in the classroom and right out there on the workshop floor. So let's get focused because we're breaking down the absolute essentials of educational structure. Here is our roadmap for today's session. We'll start with curriculum, the master plan. Then we'll walk through the 7 steps to plan. After that, we'll weigh the merits and demerits. And finally, we'll wrap up with the foundation of effective teaching. Think of this as your ultimate blueprint. As technical educators, you are really going to rely on this. We're going from the very top, the broad, overarching definition of a curriculum, all the way down to the highly specific 7 steps of prepping for just one single class. It's a fully mapped out journey, so let's unpack every crucial piece of it together. All right, let's jump right into part 1, curriculum, the master plan. Okay, let's start at the absolute foundation. When we talk about the curriculum, we are talking about the total learning experience provided by the school or institute. Now, it's super vital to understand that we don't just mean your printed syllabus. Actually, scratch that. It's way more than a list of practical exams or a stack of heavy technical manuals. It literally represents the complete, holistic journey that you'll facilitate for your new batch, from that very first day they step onto the workshop floor right up to the day they graduate. Why does this matter so much? Well, this master plan is essentially your anchor. First off, it actively helps you achieve those big picture educational goals. It gives both you and your batch a unified destination to aim for. Second, it ensures that we are systematically developing that essential technical knowledge and those hands-on skills. And third, it acts as a continuous guide for everyone. It makes sure every single theory class and every practical session you run actually serves a distinct, meaningful purpose. Moving right along to section 2, the 7 steps to plan. Picture this, it's the night before your class. Think of this first block of steps as your dedicated prep phase. Step 1, identify your objectives. You need to define exactly what your trainees should learn by the time that final bell rings. Step 2 is selecting content, pinning down the exact subject matter. Step 3, choose your methods. Ask yourself, does this need a theory lecture or are we doing a practical workshop demonstration? And then step 4, prepare your teaching aids. Gather up your charts, your circuit models, or get your ICT tools loaded and ready. This kind of precise, deliberate preparation, it absolutely guarantees you walk in there ready to execute. Right, so now we bring all that amazing prep work into the live classroom. Step 5 is conducting activities. This is where you are actively guiding student participation. Step 6 is evaluation. You can't just lecture at them. You've got to ask questions to assess if those Step 1 objectives were genuinely absorbed. And finally, Step 7, homework or assignment. This is where you set those reinforcement activities to really lock in the day's lesson. When you string these consecutive steps together, it transforms quiet behind-the-scenes preparation into vibrant, real-world student success. Which brings us to section 3, merits and demerits. Look, theory is perfect on paper, right? But the actual classroom, well, reality always has trade-offs. On the plus side, a strong lesson plan gives you highly systematic teaching, which honestly saves you so much precious time during a live session. It totally boosts your confidence, ensures your students understand the material better, and makes managing a busy technical lab a whole lot easier. But we definitely have to acknowledge the flip side. Doing this right, it takes heavy preparation time outside of your regular working hours. It can also feel a bit rigid, especially if a batch gets curious and wants to explore a technical tangent. It's also undeniably tough for new teachers to master right off the bat, and if you follow it too strictly, you might end up ignoring how individual students learn differently. So the mark of a true master educator is planning thoroughly, but still remaining dynamically adaptable on your feet. And that leads us to our final section, section 4, the foundation of effective teaching. It really all boils down to this one core philosophy. A good lesson plan is the foundation of effective teaching. As you wrap up your 42-day certification and get ready to step into your very own institutes, keep this at the front of your mind. We've looked at the master curriculum, we've walked through those precise 7 steps, and we've weighed the practical trade-offs. But absolutely everything rests on the unseen, behind-the-scenes work you do before you ever even speak your first word to a new batch. So I'll leave you with this. When you step up to that whiteboard next month, are you just going to be reacting to your students, or will you be truly ready to lead them?